because you have 5 seconds to convince me to buy your product. Which 5 seconds am I spending on your product? I'm going to look at the price, then I'm going to look at the main image, and I'm out at second 6. That's it. If I stick around, guess what? You have a high probability of converting me.
Welcome to the Post-Purchase Pro Podcast.
This is the only podcast that dives deep into post-purchase marketing to help Amazon sellers increase sales, ranking, reviews, and profits. It's everything that happens after the initial sale that makes a difference. We call this the back end.
Welcome to the Post-Purchase Pro Podcast. We are super excited to have a very special guest today, Stephen Pope from My Amazon Guy. I am one of your co-hosts here, Seth Stevens, along with Sean Hart, my other co-host, Sean. We've got a doozy one for today, don't we? We have the Stephen Pope from My Amazon Guy. I talked to Stephen the other day, and he got me really excited because we share a lot of the same methodologies, but also a lot of the same experiences. And Stephen, it sounds like you've learned a thing or two about Amazon over the years. So tell us who Stephen Pope is, where you began, and where you are now.
Well, back in the day, I used to be a television reporter, did that for a while. And one day I was in the middle of a blizzard and I was at 10 o'clock at night, biggest blizzard Wisconsin had seen in like a decade. And I missed my cue to go on the air. It was a terrible moment in my life. And I felt like an idiot. My hair froze over, literally froze over. And I decided at that moment, I wanted to be at home making money online. So I broke into e-commerce. I spent a decade working on the corporate side, doing marketing and corporate jobs, everything from women's plus size clothing to kitchen equipment to gold and silver coins. Eventually, after working for 4 failed startups and a lighting company was the last one, they laid me off. I asked myself this question: have I peaked? And the answer to that question only took me 48 hours. 48 hours later, I signed my first client and started an agency called My Amazon Guy. And the way that happened was I was in the laundry room with the wife. She's like, let's go on vacation. I'm like, I got to solve this problem. I only got 3 months of severance. Let me just get to work right now. She said, okay, fine. And I'm like, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I've been side hustle consulting Amazon for like 6 years. I'm OG on the platform. I was part of the beta advertising testing. I know more about Amazon than anybody I know. And she says, cool, what do you want to call the company? How do they normally introduce you when you get introduced for a referral? And I say, I don't think they really care who I am, but every single time they've introduced me, they just say, talk to My Amazon Guy. Every single time. So that's how I chose the name of the company, and that's why I'm here today. Super excited to talk to you. My goal for the listener is to make them say, wow. If you leave this session today saying, wow, then I have succeeded. So I'm going to do everything I can today to add as much maximum value to make you say, wow.
This is great, Stephen. So it's obviously not your first rodeo. You started out in television. You found out you have a great face for radio. Is it Marvin Martian or is it the daggone Blackhawks logo on your shirt? I can't see.
So I'm a gamer. So this is Link from Zelda, right? There's 3 hearts on here. This is my favorite t-shirt. It's super raggedy. My wife wants me to throw it out, but she can go hike a creek. T-shirt. Yeah, I almost every day I wear the black My Amazon Guy logo t-shirt, but today I was feeling frisky. I was launching. So today I actually launched a new education program called Mag School, and I wanted to feel my best. So I put my favorite t-shirt on, raggedy and all, coming on to some podcasts.
I love the name. So soon to be My Amazon Guy. So quick story, back in 2002, we were in the import business and one of our competitors started selling the same product we were selling. And they simply named their business 2 Guys Selling. And their website was 2guysselling.com. And I asked them, I said, where'd you come up with the name? He said, well, we're just 2 guys selling. So I understand it. Simplicity at its best, but you understand exactly what My Amazon Guy means. There's no need for further clarification or definition. So love it. Great positioning, Stephen.
Yeah, I'll make one more comment about the positioning, then we can move on. So if you go Google right now, and I dare anybody to do this that's listening, Google the term Amazon Guy. You'll see that I come up first above Jeff Bezos. So I'm clearly the most important Amazon guy in the world.
Clearly, I'm gonna take you up on that challenge. Add that to the show notes, Danny. Amazon Guy. Wow, amazing. So Seth, the briefing that you give me from his conversation with you on the phone made me say, wow. So it's amazing that that's our
One
goal
down.
here today. So there's a reason why you were so stoked to get Stephen on the show for the post purchase podcast. Our show is specifically geared toward Amazon third party sellers. So what you have to share is going to be amazing. The bad part is we only have 15 to 20 minutes to do it, but we are going to have you on a one off podcast in the very near future. So let's jump in. Let's wow somebody, Stephen.
If 18 minutes is good enough for a TED Talk, 15 is good enough for us.
I'm
So
with you.
I want to make sure we get the first of the two giveaways I'm going to give you guys right off the bat. So I mentioned I launched Mag School today, mag-school.com, and we are giving away free courses to sell on Amazon. Only the first course is going to be free. It's going to be the SEO course. Every course after that's $10. I fibbed. But for the first 30 people that sign up with promo code POSTPURCHASEPRO in all caps, we're going to give away the SEO course for free. More than 700 people have signed up in the first 5 hours of us launching this course. So it's actually real, it's a deal, and you get a certificate. So if you're looking to get employed or you want to get your employees certified, mag-school.com. All right,
Make
with
it
that said,
701 now, buddy. 701.
all right, one down. I like it.
Perfect. All right, Stephen. So let's jump into some nitty gritty stuff. So Stephen, you are self-proclaimed, right? My Amazon guy. You're more important than Jeff Bezos. You will help Amazon sellers grow their businesses every single day. But what is the one or two levers that you look at first whenever you bring on a new client or you look at an Amazon business? What are you looking at right away to say, if they don't get these two things right, then I know that my job is going to be way harder?
Great question.
This is an easy question, and I'm going to give you a basic answer. It's two things: traffic and conversion. And here's what everybody fundamentally misunderstands. Traffic is 10 times more important than conversion. So you need to spend 10 times the effort on PPC and SEO. There are so many different things that SEO fundamentally has developed. The algorithm is totally different today, and how you need to think about SEO specifically within the Amazon platform is under-tapped. So if you're looking for a hack today, you need to focus on your SEO. And I'll give you several hacks if you want, but here's one. SEO search term field on the back end of Amazon. How many different letters and words can you put in it? It's not 250 characters. It's actually 250 bytes. Why does this matter? Bytes don't count spaces. So if you have 250 characters and not 250 bytes right now, you're missing out on 20% of your search terms. Who would like 20% more search terms today? I would. Well, guess what? Every frickin' SEO tool in the entire market didn't realize this. Even though there's an Amazon help file, even though if you type in random letters until you hit 250 bytes in the back end, and then you get the error message, it says 250 bytes. So this is blatantly obvious. But apparently it takes some dingbat called Stephen Pope to come in and point it out. And I'm the first one online talking about this. I took screenshots of every SEO tool, Helium 10, Jungle Scout, ZonGuru, 20 others. All of them missed this. So if you just simply trust an SEO tool to do your job, you are missing out on 20% of your SEO juice. Now, some of the tools are starting to patch this. I got to give props to ZonGuru. They were the first. They patched it in another 48 hours. But the point is, you need to put copy in your A+ content. You need to focus on search terms, and you need to look at keywords that are in the striking distance to the top of the SERPs. That is positions 20 through 50, and rotate them up. SEO is not set it and forget it.
I love it. 10 times the value. You're putting 10 times the value in traffic than you are conversions, because obviously traffic is a prerequisite to conversions. Without
It's a
traffic,
chicken or an egg question, no doubt. And every time I ask this question on LinkedIn, 75% of people think conversion is more important. They're wrong. It's traffic. I'm the 1 out of 4 guys in the room calling 75% wrong. Yes. And you should pay attention to that. You should listen to that, because guess what? If I'm right, you need to redesign everything that you do on Amazon. You need to focus on the fact that photos are for humans and words are for robots. And if I'm right, that means you need to put 500 words of copy in your A+ content chock full of keyword stuffing, which will lead to drastic keyword indexing improvements. Yes, A+ content indexes And for the 3 guys that are listening that don't believe me, here is your take-home test proof. Go put Spanish behind one photo's alt text, and within 48 hours, I will give you a free coaching call worth $400 if it doesn't index in under 48 hours. I've never had to give out a free coaching call.
$400 on this call. So there's Danny, there you go, buddy. There's the title of this podcast. Photos are for humans, words are for robots. I love that. So
That's a good one.
It was a profound discovery for us when we found out back in 2014 that we could just change the file name of an image before we uploaded it, and it would dramatically change the way it indexed within the Amazon SEO world. Now, granted, I can't even spell SEO, but I could see the results and I could quantify it.
Well, search engine optimization is the name of the game right now, especially since pay-per-click advertising is up 35% year over year. If you took 30% of your PPC budget and put it in SEO, that would be 100 times more than the next guy's doing. And guess what? The guy that invests in SEO today is going to have a brand 1 or 2 years from now. The guy that's all in on that PPC, they just lost their margins.
Exactly. Stephen, I love that. Amazon is going to continue to squeeze your margins if you're just relying on that. You mentioned 2 things. You said traffic and conversion, and you touched on how to get more traffic with SEO. Do you have any one-liner tips for conversion?
Your main image is the most important thing. If you haven't run an A/B test on how to improve your main image, then that's your 5-minute conversion hack today. I'm a big fan of PickFu. Get 50% off pickfu.com/myamazonguy. Every time you use that, you'll buy me a Chipotle burrito. And this is the fastest and best way to figure out how to improve your main image. Main image affects traffic too, by the way, because of CTR, click-through rate. And it also affects conversion. Why? Because you have 5 seconds to convince me to buy your product. Which 5 seconds am I spending on your product? I'm going to look at the price, then I'm going to look at the main image, and I'm out at second 6. That's it. If I stick around, guess what? You have a high probability of converting me. But your main image needs to get me to the listing there to begin with, and it needs to convert me once I'm there.
So there's your sound bite and your quotable quote, Danny. You have 5 seconds to convert me on your listing.
Good litmus test and bright line.
There you go. Seth, you're right. This is amazing. So a wealth of information already in the first 5 minutes. Definitely impressed, Stephen. So before we go away, which we're not going away anytime soon, tell people again how they can find out more about My Amazon Guy, why you are the Amazon Guy, and how you can significantly transform their business for the better. A lot of people transform their business every day, but it's not always for the better.
Well, I have nearly 1,000 videos on YouTube where I give away all of my trade secrets. Additionally, I just launched mag-school, where you can get those free courses. So I continue to give away that stuff. I'm going to up that one more, and I'm going to give away anybody here who would like a review of your ASIN. This is where we come in and give you analyst type grade A level conversation, where we look at your listing, we look at the PPC, we look at the SEO and the design and how you're managing your catalog and account from the public listing and some tools we use. And we will tell you exactly how to level up the listing. myamazonguy.com/ASIN, ASIN. And we'll get that over to you in 1 business day, absolutely no charge. And my hope is we'll help you out and add as much value.
And there's no limit on that. Be careful.
There isn't, but one per person unless you want to hire us, hopefully. But
okay. So if we send this out to our entire list of 20,000 sellers, it's okay, right?
That's totally fine. That would make my day. I have over 220 brands that work with My Amazon Guy today. We sold 9 new clients, full service packages in the last 72 hours. That was a record for us.
222 brands. So you're gonna have to change your pronoun. It's gonna be their Amazon Guy or everyone's Amazon Guy.
Something. I'm as soon as Amazon inevitably will reach out to me sometime in the next decade and say, hey, you can't use Amazon in your title. But
that's when you know you've made it.
Yeah, that's how I'll know. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I have a backup name. It's Mag Growth, and we'll be fine when it happens. But quite frankly, I made my company before they made their trademarks. So let's have that conversation.
Okay, fair enough.
Very good. So Stephen, so you were an Amazon seller before you became an Amazon consultant. So as you bring on new clients, you just mentioned that you brought on what was it, 9 new clients in the last 72 hours.
Yeah.
What are you doing for them? Like, what is your service for those clients entail? Like, I want to know, like, behind the scenes, like, what is Steven doing for each one of your clients?
Well, I'm cashing in the check, and then I'm going to go to Peru while my team works on the account, of course, right?
Smart man.
So I actually work really hard to build a system. I'm a big fan of Traction. You talked about leveling companies up. Great business book. Everybody needs to use EOS.
Don't forget this one too.
Yeah, I do. Hey, guess what? Guess what? I have that right here.
Hey,
Boom.
nothing
I
less than
bought
a
it.
6-star review, man. If you're the Amazon guy, you can pull off 6 stars.
So yeah, 6 stars. That's a great one. I like that. So, my job is to build a system and attract talent. And so we're doing everything we can. I use Culture Index to figure out right seat, right person in the right seat. And that's mentioned in Traction, by the way. And so we're building systems to level up companies, and we do everything we can to improve traffic and improve conversion, right? Tying it back into our original soundbite. And it's really basic. We don't do anything outside of Amazon. It's all digital, full service work within Amazon's ecosystem, Seller and Vendor Central. So that is your SEO, your PPC, the design, and the catalog management. So full service, turnkey digital account management on Amazon.
Wow, that's why you are my Amazon guy. Seth, I hate to do this, but we've reached our time limit for the podcast, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have you in for a one-off webinar. We're going to take a deep dive into the mind of Steven from House Pope, and we're going to figure out what it is that makes you tick. And I'm going to put you on the spot with some tough questions, but we'll actually give you those before the webinar. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen here, Steven, thank you so much for the generous offer to our audience. Yeah. Find all of the information in the show notes below this video or in the podcast. If you're listening, then take a moment to go screenshot those show notes or whatever platform you're in and take advantage of this offer before Steven wakes up and realizes that he's going to have to quickly change that pronoun, because you're going to be the Amazon guy, not just my Amazon guy. Steven, amazing. Love your presence. Love your antics. One of my favorite interviews this month, man. And we're 31 days in already. So any final parting words of wisdom to our audience before we get you on a webinar?
Just do it. Just get started, guys. Just do it. I gave you so many 5-minute hacks today. If you aren't spending 5 minutes on your account enabling one of these, you're missing out on $10,000 in value we just gave out. I'm telling you. So go grow your sales, and then send me a note at podcast@myamazonguy.com and let me know how we affected your business today. And tell me in the subject line, such wow.
Such wow. I love the wow factor. This has been an episode of the Post-Purchase Podcast. Can't wait to have you back, Steven. This is Steven Pope of My Amazon Guy. Thank you so much, my friend. Have a great afternoon.